Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and I'm so happy to have you here today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julia. Thank you for joining us again. Today, we're going to talk about something very important for every English learner: how to speak English confidently anywhere.
That's right, Julia. Many people can understand English, they can read and write, but when it's time to speak, they feel nervous or shy, especially in public or around native speakers.
Yes, Jason, and that's totally normal. We all feel shy sometimes, especially when we worry about making mistakes or forgetting words. But the good news is confidence is something you can build. You don't need to be perfect to be confident.
Exactly. In today's episode, we'll share simple, practical tips to help you speak English with confidence, whether you're talking at school, work, a shop, or even online.
We'll talk about why confidence matters, how to overcome fear, how to practice speaking every day, and how to sound natural in real situations.
So, if you want to stop feeling shy and start speaking English anywhere with confidence, stay with us till the end. You'll get some really useful advice you can start using today.
Yes. So let's get started and talk about why confidence is so important when speaking English.
So, Julia, let's start with a very important question. Why does confidence matter so much when speaking English?
That's a great question, Jason. Confidence is what helps you use the English you already know. Many learners actually know enough English words and grammar, but they don't use them because they're afraid of making mistakes.
Exactly. Confidence gives you the courage to speak, even when you're not perfect. Without confidence, even a person with good English knowledge may stay silent.
Right. And Jason, when you speak with confidence, people focus more on your message, not your mistakes. They understand you better and respect you more.
That's so true, Julia. I've seen many learners who speak with small grammar mistakes, but because they speak with a smile and clear voice, everyone enjoys talking with them.
Yes. Confidence also shows that you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, others start believing in you too. It's like positive energy, it spreads.
I like that positive energy. And also, confidence helps you learn faster. When you talk more, you get more practice. When you practice, you improve your pronunciation, fluency, and vocabulary.
Exactly. Confidence opens the door to more opportunities. You can make new friends, get better jobs, and travel easily. English becomes fun when you're not afraid to speak it.
So true. Confidence doesn't mean you never make mistakes. It means you're brave enough to keep speaking even when you do.
Yes. And that's the secret of every good English speaker. They don't wait to be perfect. They just start speaking and grow with time.
Beautifully said, Julia. So now that we know how important confidence is, let's talk about something many learners face: the fears and challenges that stop them from speaking confidently.
Yes, let's do that. Because understanding those fears is the first step to overcoming them.
So, Julia, now let's talk about the common fears and challenges that stop people from speaking English confidently. What do you think most learners are afraid of?
Good question, Jason. I think the biggest fear is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners worry that others will laugh at them or judge their English.
Yes, that's very true. And sometimes people are scared they'll forget words while speaking, or they won't know how to continue a conversation. That fear makes them stay quiet instead of trying.
Exactly. Some people also feel shy because they think their accent is not perfect. But actually, everyone has an accent, even native speakers from different countries. What really matters is communication, not perfection.
I totally agree, Julia. Another challenge is lack of practice. Many learners only study grammar or vocabulary, but they don't speak enough. Without practice, it's hard to build confidence.
Yes, Jason. And one more thing, many learners compare themselves to others. They think, oh, that person speaks so well, I can't. But learning English is not a competition. It's a personal journey.
That's such good advice, Julia. So, listeners, don't let fear, mistakes, or comparison stop you. Everyone learns step by step. What matters most is to keep trying.
Exactly. And now that we understand these fears, let's see how we can start small and slowly build our confidence to speak English anywhere.
Now, Julia, many learners want to speak English confidently, but they don't know where to begin. What's the best way to start?
The best way, Jason, is to start small. You don't have to give a long speech or talk for hours. You can begin with simple, short sentences like greeting people or introducing yourself.
That's a great point. For example, you can start by saying, "Good morning," to your teacher, or "How are you?" to a friend. Small steps like these help you feel more comfortable speaking English.
Exactly. You can also talk to yourself in English when you're at home. For example, describe what you're doing. I'm cooking dinner, or I'm reading a book. It sounds simple, but it really helps build confidence.
Yes, and every time you speak, you become a little more confident. The key is to practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Confidence grows slowly. Like a plant, the more you practice, the stronger it becomes.
That's a nice way to say it, Jason. So, listeners, remember, don't wait for the perfect time or perfect English. Just start small, speak daily, and your confidence will grow naturally.
Exactly. And once you start speaking, there's another powerful way to boost your confidence through your body language and eye contact. Let's talk about that next. So, Julia, we've talked about starting small and practicing every day. But there's another thing that really helps with confidence, and that's body language.
Yes, Jason, body language is super important. Sometimes, even before you speak, people can feel your confidence just by the way you stand, smile, or look at them.
That's true. For example, if you stand straight, keep your shoulders back, and smile, you already look more confident even if you're a little nervous inside.
Exactly. And eye contact is another big part of confidence. When you look at the person you're talking to, not staring, but just naturally, it shows you're interested and sure about what you're saying.
Yes. But many learners look down or avoid eye contact because they feel shy. That's normal at first, but you can practice. Start by looking at people's faces when you say hello or thank you.
That's a great tip. And remember, a friendly smile goes a long way. Smiling makes both you and the listener feel relaxed. It shows that you're open and confident.
Absolutely. Also, using your hands naturally while talking helps. You don't need to move too much, but small gestures can make your conversation look lively and confident.
Yes, Jason. So even if your English isn't perfect, your body language can send a powerful message. I'm confident, I can communicate, and I'm not afraid to speak.
Beautifully said, Julia. So listeners, remember, stand tall, smile, make gentle eye contact, and let your body show your confidence. It really makes a difference.
That's right. And another big way to sound confident is to think in English instead of translating in your head. Let's talk about that next.
So, Julia, one big tip that helps people speak English more confidently is stop translating in your head. Just think in English.
Yes, Jason. Translating from your first language to English takes time and makes you speak slowly. Sometimes it also makes you feel nervous because you're trying to find the right word.
Exactly. When you think in English, words come out more naturally. You don't have to stop and think every second. It makes your speech smoother and more confident.
That's right. But many learners ask, how can I start thinking in English? It's actually simple. You can start with small steps. For example, name things around you in English: table, chair, book, phone.
Yes, or describe what you're doing, like I'm brushing my teeth or I'm walking to school. These small thoughts train your mind to use English automatically.
And the more you do it, the faster your brain gets used to English. Then when you speak, you don't have to translate, you just speak naturally.
Exactly. So, listeners, remember, don't worry about using perfect grammar. Focus on thinking in English every day, and confidence will come naturally.
Great advice, Jason. And once you start thinking in English, the next step is to use common English phrases and expressions to make your conversation sound smooth and natural.
So, Julia, after thinking in English, the next big step to sound confident is using common English phrases and expressions.
That's right, Jason. When you use common phrases, you sound more natural and fluent. You don't have to think too much about grammar. Just use ready-made expressions that native speakers use every day.
Exactly. For example, instead of always saying, "How do you do?" you can say, "What's up?" or "How's it going?" These are friendly and natural ways to start a conversation.
Yes. And for agreeing with someone, you can say, "That's right, exactly," or "I think so too." Simple phrases like these help you sound confident and connected in a conversation.
That's true, Julia. You can also learn useful expressions for daily life, like, "Could you please help me?" "I'm just looking, thank you," or "Sorry, I didn't catch that." These are perfect for speaking in shops, schools, or with strangers.
Yes, and the best part is the more you use these phrases, the easier English feels. You don't need to create sentences from zero. You already have a toolbox of ready words.
Exactly. So, listeners, start collecting your favorite English phrases and practice using them every day. They'll make your speaking smoother and more confident.
That's great advice, Jason. Now, let's talk about how to use these phrases in real-life situations like shops, cafes, or classrooms.
So, Julia, now that we've talked about using common phrases, let's help our listeners understand how to use English confidently in real-life situations.
Yes, Jason. Real-life practice is the best teacher. You can start by speaking English in simple places like when you're at a shop, a cafe, or even when asking for directions.
Exactly. For example, if you're in a shop, you can say, "Excuse me, how much is this?" Or, "Do you have this in another color?" Simple sentences like these help you practice naturally.
That's right. Or when you go to a cafe, you can say, "Can I have a cup of tea, please?" Or, "I'd like a coffee, thank you." These small daily conversations build real confidence.
Yes, and don't worry if you forget a word. You can always say, "Sorry, what's the word for this?" or I don't know how to say it in English. Most people will understand and even help you.
Exactly, Jason. The more you use English in daily life, the more natural it becomes. Confidence doesn't come from studying, it comes from using English in real situations.
Well said, Julia. So, learners, don't wait for the perfect time. Start using English wherever you are. That's how you'll become confident anywhere.
Absolutely. And next, we'll talk about something very important, how to learn from your mistakes instead of feeling embarrassed by them.
Julia, one thing that really stops people from speaking English is the fear of making mistakes.
Yes, Jason, many learners think mistakes are bad, but actually, mistakes are a very natural part of learning. Every good speaker makes them.
That's true. The important thing is to learn from your mistakes, not feel embarrassed. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you, it's a good thing you're learning something new.
Exactly. You should be proud that you're trying. The only real mistake is not speaking at all. So don't be afraid, speak, learn, and improve every day.
Beautifully said, Julia. And to make real progress, it helps to follow a simple daily practice plan that builds your confidence step by step. Let's share that next. Julia, we've talked about starting small, using phrases, and learning from mistakes. But how can listeners practice every day to build real confidence?
That's simple, Jason. You can create a daily practice plan. For example, spend a few minutes every morning speaking English to yourself or describing what you're doing.
Yes. You can also listen to short English conversations, repeat phrases out loud, or even record yourself speaking. Listening to your own voice helps you notice improvement.
And don't forget to practice with others, friends, classmates, or online partners. Even small daily conversations help a lot.
Exactly. Just 10 to 15 minutes every day can make a huge difference over time. The key is consistency practice a little every day, and confidence will grow naturally.
Absolutely. And now, let's quickly recap everything we've learned and give our listeners some final motivation.
So, Julia, before we finish, let's quickly recap what we talked about today.
Sure, Jason. We discussed why confidence is important, common fears that stop learners, and how to start small. We also talked about body language, thinking in English, using phrases, real-life practice, learning from mistakes, and daily practice.
Yes, and the most important message is, don't wait to be perfect. Speak English anywhere, anytime, and grow your confidence step by step.
Exactly. Every small effort counts. Remember, mistakes are just part of learning, and every conversation makes you stronger and more confident.
So, listeners, start speaking today. Take small steps, be brave, and enjoy the journey. Confidence comes with practice, and you can do it.
Yes. Keep speaking, keep learning, and remember, English is for everyone, everywhere.
Well, Julia, that's all for today's episode on how to speak English confidently anywhere.
Yes, Jason. We hope our listeners found these tips helpful and feel ready to start speaking English with confidence.
Absolutely. And listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends who want to improve their English.
Yes, and remember to practice a little every day, use phrases, speak in real-life situations, and don't be afraid of mistakes. Confidence comes with consistent effort.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep speaking English confidently and we'll see you in the next episode.